Fast as fast can be, you can never catch me. Jason Schreier can catch you. So can Rebecca Valentine. Bungie, oh Bungie. We need to have a conversation, babe. Seems like you in a bit of a quagmire. Well, oh well. Bungie, oh Bungie. Everybody knows that I'm a Destiny player. Used to play Destiny until Fortnite came and, claimed that top spot at the moment. And we play Destiny, every new raid, Vault of Glass, everything. Got all the guns. Had our raid teams. Ever since Bungie separated from Microsoft, because Microsoft was the cancer, remember? And then, they went over to Activision. But ever since Bungie separated from Microsoft, and 343, did Halo, and they was doing their best, to try to, get Halo up and running. And, right now, Halo is on a good footing because they got, proper people in place right now that loves the franchise. So Halo's on the upswing. Destiny has been on a downswing. And that is all due to decisions that were made at Bungie. So we thought that Microsoft was the problem and they needed to separate from Microsoft, and they got away from Microsoft for a minute, and then they went over to Activision, and we saw a different type of Bungie. We saw a Bungie that was money hungry, and it became an issue. So, you know how Bungie do. Finessed their way out of a deal, a great finesser, and got out of that Activision deal. And then came another suitor, which we thought they were gullible. We thought Sony was gullible. And Sony came in and paid $3.x billion to get Bungie lock, stock, and barrel. And they paid a good sum. We didn't know the intricacies to what's going on. And, we always thought it was everybody else's fault. We always thought that it was Microsoft's fault. We always thought that it was Activision's fault. We always thought that it was somebody else's fault in the reason why, Bungie was doing these things. And they got with Sony. We thought that deal was crazy because we thought the great finesser was going to finesse their way into a new bag. And they got the bag, boy. These dudes paid above market value for Bungie, which seemed to be 1 point something billion more than what, we expected them to, sell for. And we was like, they finessed their way into another situation. This is the best thing that Bungie could do. Bungie's outside. And then we saw the massive layoffs. And then we saw the viewer count in the games going lower in Destiny. We saw inconsistencies with the DLC, the mixed branding. Then we saw cash grab that they tried to do on Steam with the starter bundle pack. And everything just started to snowball. And then we started to look over and we was like, oh man, what's going on with Bungie? Well, Jason Schreier has, uncovered a story, and Rebecca Valentine has wrote this in the new IGN. Now, y'all know I don't mess with IGN at all. If you want any gaming news, I will always tell you to go to lordsofgaming.net, where we have the best writers. We have the most unbiased pieces, and we're going to give it to you the real. Those guys do it there with their passion, their heart. And I'm so proud of these guys. Oh, you can check them out at PAX East this year, where, majority of LogNet will be joining the Iron Lords podcast at PAX East this year, where we will get a chance to, have a round table, see games, and do reporting on games and everything. So, back to the problem at hand. Everybody always accuses Microsoft of sucking the soul out of a company. Everybody accuses Microsoft of destroying a company once they purchases them. And from this article and everything that we see here right now that's going on, Sony is doing the exact thing that everybody has accused Microsoft of doing. They said that is soul crushing. They got rid of 100 employees, not of their own volition, but because of the mandates that are in order for them, the milestones for them to hit. So Sony doesn't liquefy the board and take over complete control of a Bungie. Do you understand? They have put themselves in a position. This is tantamount to somebody feeling that they can outwit the serial killer. Oh yeah, I'm hanging out with the serial killer, but you understand what I'm saying? He ain't gonna get me. I'm doing it. Like that person that think they're smarter than everybody. Sony has been finessing everybody for years. They finessed their fan base into believing things that ain't true. Sony has finessed companies into believing that they're the market leader, which they aren't. Sony has finessed everyone. Sony even finessed the FTC to believe that they were in the right with the ABK deal. Sony has been the evil shadow lord in this whole thing forever. And the veil is being unlifted. Let me tell you a little bit that's inside this article, which is distressing, disheartening, and disgusting, to say the least. They got rid of everyone that is a personality that actually puts together the functions. They marginalize bonuses. There won't be any bonuses this year. There won't be any incentives. They stopped the cookouts, the meet and greets. It used to be a family fun friendly environment. It is a hollow shell of what they once were. Sony has been doing this to developers that they have purchased for a very long time. And that cross to bear was left on Microsoft's back and everybody ran with it. So it is great to see Sony getting some of their just desserts. It is great to see IGN actually reporting what Sony is doing to one of our beloved developers. Now, I'm not saying that, Bungie didn't do this to themselves to some extent. Should have went with Microsoft, should have took the bag, should have took the terms. You would have been who you were and still who you used to be. Real recognize real, Bungie. And you just ain't looking the same anymore. Man, is the final shape your final days? Does marathon matter? Did you see what I just did there? Does marathon matter? We're at a point now when we might lose a great developer to the machine, which is Sony. A soul-crushing, terrible machine. This is sad because I really was in love with Bungie for a long time. Destiny 2, Destiny had me. And this is a sad day. To see this information come out, to see individuals scared to go to work, not knowing if it's going to be their last day or their companion's last day. that work with them, that upper management can tell you that firing is a lever that they will use as a tool. This ain't it, man. This is not how the workplace should be. But this is Xbox Frontline News. If this is the first time that you've seen this channel, please like, follow, and subscribe. And understand that we will continue to keep the boot on Sony's neck this whole generation. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. This is mind-boggling. I thought I was going to do a video on something else, something lighthearted, something Grand Theft Auto 6. And this fell into my lap. Well, until next time, people, try to play the Game Pass.